Okay, online, are you able to hear me? Can you please confirm in chat box once whether I'm audible or not? Okay, fine. So in last class, which topic we have seen? PV and PVC. Okay, volumes done, right? Fine. So in today's session, I am gonna teach you about the config maps and secrets. But before I go and teach this one, so tomorrow we are going to have the mock interviews. Okay, and I'm gonna give one assignment for all of you. So my question for all of you is, who is interested for giving the mock interviews? All of you people, huh? Okay, let me take your names first of all. Okay. Uh, yeah, your name, please. Yeah, okay. Next, Kirti. Okay. Later, Sukant. Then Tejas, Tapas. Okay, then Sridhar. Hmm. Devashish. And next, Vishnu. Okay. And online, please ping me your names also. I'm gonna note your names also. Yeah. Abhijit. Abhijit. Hmm. Satya. Okay. Raja. And one more thing, guys. Please, I'm not asking your names. I'm asking the people who is interested for giving mock interviews because everyone is telling on serial way. Okay, I'm not collecting your names actually. Yeah, later. Rakesh. Mm. Okay. Next. Last row. No, sir. We are backbenchers. We don't give a. Okay. So from this side, girls. Yeah. Ramya. Okay. Mm. Or from girls, no one. Oh, okay, Madhu. Mm. Then that's it. I'm reading the names from offline. First of all, Priya, Kirti, Sukant, Tejas, Tapas, Sridhar, Devashish, Vishnu, Abhijit, Satya, Raja, Ramya, and Madhubala. Okay. So, and let coming to the online then, let me collect the online people also. So, online Sai Krishna, Sai Sindhu, Vasanta, Tejas, Puna. Okay. So, I have collected all the names for online and offline. So, for offline, like you can come to here directly to give the face-to-face interview. I'll prefer offline interviews rather than online. But online, you don't have any other choice. So, definitely to attend from online only. So, from tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., we are going to conduct interview. At what time? So, all of you come at 11 a.m. Okay, you can sit here and you can prepare. So, till now, whatever the topics we have done, so you can choose the topics and you can it yourself. Okay, and even like we are going to conduct interview from evening 2 p.m. From afternoon 2, I'm going to send the link for all of you so you can join, and we'll be conducting the mocks for you from 2 p.m. That's it. So offline it's 11 to 1 for you, and for offline it is 2 to 3:30 or 4 max. That's it. And after that we don't have class tomorrow. Why? Because I'm conducting mock and giving assignment now. So prepare for mock and do the assignment. That's it. Okay. So let me go and start the concept now. So in today's, I'm gonna already have this one, right? Okay. So in today's session, I'm gonna teach about the concept of config map and secrets. That means how to pass the environment variables to the pods itself. I'm gonna take minikube. Eleven. For you, it is 11. Okay. And one more thing, the reason we are conducting mock interviews, the people who is actively giving the mock interviews, we are going to give first priority for them for the jobs actually. For example, the people who are not attending for the mocks, no priority for you. More back stuff. So Sai Krishna for online it is two. Okay, we are going to send everything to the Google what we call Telegram. Please be active on Telegram. Okay. Yes, Usha, we don't have. Oh, I have taken Amazon Linux too, right? And to take Ubuntu mission. Wait. Mm, okay. So now let's go and see the concept of config map and secrets. At the end of the class, you just tell about what kind of stuff prepare for the mocks and also then skills and project to put on the resume. As know these days he has in job roles of DevOps. So Bhuvana, like whatever the classes I have taken till now, like what are the concepts you are flexible, you can give mocks up to till that. For example, see, if you are comfortable till Docker, tell to the mentors, I'm comfortable till the Docker. So they will ask questions till Docker only. Now, if you are comfortable till Kubernetes, ask them, I'm comfortable till Kubernetes. They will ask question from Kubernetes only. Like that. Select the tools, what exactly you want to test for yourself. Okay. And okay, again, this topic comes for your regular career guidance session, guys. So in the resume, I'm going to take a separate session. There I'm going to explain what skills to put on your resume. Hope it is clear for you, Bhuvana. Hmm. So see now, like this is the concept what we are going to discuss. In today's session, I'm going to teach you about the environment variables in the Kubernetes concept. First of all, what is the meaning of environment variable? Okay. So I think all of you know what is the meaning of environment variable, right? If you want to pass a input for your container, so in that case, you are going to choose the environment variable. In the concept of Docker file, I already shown it lively, how to pass environment variable. Environment variables are nothing but that particular variable will be working on those containers only. Is the point number one clear for all of you? Environment variables will be working on that particular container. Okay. So in the concept of Kubernetes, here the environment variables are nothing but it's a way of passing configuration information to multiple containers within the running pods. Okay. So for example, let me go and draw a diagram for you. So you'll be getting some clarity about it. For example, I'm creating 3 pods. How many pods I'm creating? So whenever I create 3 pods, or let's take 2 pods or 1 pod with 2 containers, anything is fine. I have 2 containers here. So for the 2 containers, I want to pass the same information, and this information need to be work on these containers only. So in that case, I can pass something called as env. What I can pass? Env start for environment variable. Env start for environment variable. Is the point number one clear for all of you? Yes. Second one, to set the environment variable, it include the env or env from field in the configuration file. That means if I want to pass, for example, let's say this is the pod number 1, this is the pod number 2. For pod number 1 and pod number 2, I want to give the environment variable like app is equal to movies. This value I want to give for both of these containers. In that case, I can pass the environment variable. Again, to pass the environment variable, I can use env or env from. What I can use? Env or env is nothing but if you want to pass single variable directly, only one variable you have, you want to pass it directly, you can go and give env. Env from is nothing but I have multiple values, multiple environment values. That multiple environment values I'll be putting on a file, and that file I am passing from env. So again, I'm telling env is to pass the values directly, and env from is to pass the values from the file itself. That's it. Again, environment variable is nothing but it's a way of passing the configuration for our pods. For example, if I have a pod, inside that pod, I want to pass some configuration. So I can use environment variables. Second thing, if I want to use environment variables, I can use env or env from. Env is to pass values directly from CLI. But env from is if I want to pass values from the file. So in that case, I can use env from. So is the point number one clear for all of you now? Online, can you please confirm is the point number one clear for all of you or not? Sure, Satya, like you can join in the upcoming sessions of Kubernetes also. Just remind me, but it will take long time actually. So, but remind me, I'll let you know like when the new Kubernetes is going to start. So here env stand from, it allows the environment variable from container specifying a direct value for each variable that you name. And env from is nothing but allow the set environment variable for a container by referencing either config map or secret. Here what I said, env is nothing but you can pass value from directly, but env is nothing but you are going to pass from a file. So whenever if you want to pass environment variable from the file, either you need to pass it from config map or you need to pass it from secrets. That means these are the 2 different ways which you are going to pass environment variables from the file. What is the method number 1 here? Direct value. Second one is from the file. Again in file, how many ways do I have? 2 ways. First one is config map. Second one is that is telling. If I use environment from, I can be able to pass the environment variables for a container by either taking config map or a secret. When you use env from, all the key value pair is reference to config map or a secret to set as an environment variable. So again, same point is repeating. And the best part is you can use a common prefix also. What you can use? Common prefix. I'll tell you what is the meaning of common prefix. But again, to pass the environment variables 2 ways, env and env from. And again, if I use env from, how many ways do I have? Two. First one is config map and secrets. Now the same thing I'm going to draw on the diagrammatical way. So first of all, I'm going to talk environment variables. Okay. So in below environment variables, I have two ways. First of all, env. Second one is env from. So now this diagram will be giving a lot of clarity for you. Env from. So env is nothing but single value. Directly you can pass. You can pass single value. But env from is nothing but you can pass from files. Correct or not, sir? That means multiple values you are going to pass from the files. But again, if I use env from, how many times, like how many different options I have? Two. First one is config maps. Second one is secrets. That's it. So it is going to look like this from the diagrammatical perception. Is it clear now? Okay. So I'm going to explain the topic number one, that is config map. Config map is used to store the data in key value pair. That means if I use config map, so I can pass the data in the key value pair, or you can pass data from file, and again you can pass data from command line interface. Okay, so you can pass it to pods, containers, and other resistant cluster. For example, I want to pass data to the pod. I can pass. Inside the pod, I have containers. For containers also, I can be able to pass. No, sir, I have replica set. For replica sets also, I can go and pass the data. And next point is here, but the data should be non-confidential. Data should be, for example, let's say you want to pass username and password. Is it confidential or not confidential? Confidential. So you cannot pass that kind of data. Why? Because we don't have any privacy or security. If we don't have any privacy or security, how can we pass it, sir? No. So you can pass, but it should be non-confidential. Okay. Why? Because your config map doesn't provide any kind of security or encryption. No, sir, if I want to provide some security or encryption in Kubernetes, we are going to use secrets. What do we use? Secrets. So the limit of the config map is going to be 1 MB. What is the limit, sir? 1 MB. So if you want to pass more data from the config map, okay, so in that case, you are going to use volumes in the Kubernetes actually. The limit is going to be 1 MB, but if it is more than 1 MB, you are going to use, yes. So again, I'm going to give this short description for all of you. So if you go and check out here, first of all, I'm going to deal with config map. Config map can pass data in key value, or you can pass it from CLI, or you can pass it from files. Correct or not, sir? Like the concept, I'm going to make it very short and sweet for you in order to remember it very, very effectively. So you can pass it on key value pair, CLI, and files. But data should be non-confidential. Third point, here it should not provide privacy and encryption. Fourth point, limit will be 1 MB. Limit will be 1 MB. If it is greater than 1 MB, you are going to use volumes. This is the complete description of the config maps. Now see, again, so environment variables I can pass on two ways. One is from single value from env. No, if I want to pass multiple values, I can use files. So if I want to pass data from file, I can use config map or secret. In config map, you can pass data on key value pair, CLI, and files. Data should be non-confidential. It provides privacy and encryption. Limit will be 1 MB. If it is more than 1 MB, you are going to use volumes. Now, is the information about the config maps clear for all of you? Online, can you please confirm me, is the concept of config maps clear for all of you or not? Can you please confirm me in chat box? Okay, fine. So next I'm going to talk about the secrets actually. So basically in Kubernetes, Config map can pass the data, but data should not be on an encryption way. So in that case, you are going to use something called as secrets. But before that, let me tell you where we can use config map. So config maps you can use to configure the application settings. For example, application will have some URLs, web server URL, app server URL, database server URL we are having. So if you want to pass that kind of information, I can pass. Second one, you can configure the pod array container. If I want to set a value for container, I can use config map for it. Third one, sharing configuration for multiple resource. For example, let's say I have 3 pods. These 3 pods are under replica set. Now, if I pass the same data for these replica sets or not, sir? This is one of the thing. In real time, basically, whenever if I want to pass data for multiple pods, I'll create replica set or deployment. And the information, if I pass to the deployment, automatically every pod will get the same information. Let me tell you the best use case. I have a database pod. Which pod? For the database pod, we need to give username and password. Without username and password, can we create database? No. So if I want to set the username and password for the multiple pods, I can create a replica set of it. For that replica set, can I give username and password at the same time or not, sir? That's it. And here we can store the data by using config map. We can store data like IP address, URLs, and DNS. In real time, this is the use case actually. With the help of config maps, we can save IPs, URLs, DNS, and so on. Now let's go and do some practical part on it. So you will be getting some clarity. So here, this command is to create the deployment. Deployment name is Swiggy DB, and image I'm going to take it as MariaDB. So tell me one thing, if I'm creating a pod, that is database pod, if I use a command kubectl get PO, currently the pod is on which status? Creating status, wait for it. It gone to which status? Error. So if I want some additional information, I can use the command kubectl describe pod. So you can see we get the back of restarting failed actually. What we get? Back of restarting failed. Sir, if I use the command kubectl get events, it is gonna complete events, it is gonna print me or not, sir? Yes, here the container got failed. But are you able to find out the root cause for it? You check the logs command, you check the events command and you check the describe command, correct or not? So whenever if you check both of these commands, still the issue is not resolved. Still, if you don't find the root cause, in that case, you are going to use the command called logs actually. Which one? So give the command kubectl logs and name of the pod actually. So it is the name of the pod. If I use this one, oh wait, kubectl get PO. First of all, let me get the pods. It is the name of the pod. Okay. So give the command kubectl logs pod name. So here you can see, are you seeing the error here? What is the error? Database is uninitialized and password option is not. So you need to specify one of the variable. Either you need to specify MariaDB root password or MariaDB root password hash or MariaDB empty root password, or even you can use MariaDB password. That means it is clearly telling that database, whatever you set without password. Without password, I cannot create database. Is the kubectl logs command giving me the information of the pod or not, sir? Yes. So now what you are going to do? You are going to set the environment variable for the pod actually. So environment variable, in how many ways I can set, sir? 2 ways. Either from env. If it is single value, I can go for env. But if it is multiple values, can I go from env or not, sir? Now in this case, I want to set only one variable. So which can I can use? Env. So go and give the command kubectl set env. I am setting the environment variable. I am setting the environment variable for the deployment. And what is the name of the deployment here? Swiggy DB. Okay, this command will telling that with the help of kubectl, I am setting the environment variable for the deployment. Name of this deployment is going to be Swiggy DB. Okay, and after that, you are going to give the environment variable. So here I am giving MySQL root password is equal to Ram 123. Even though if I use MariaDB, I can use MySQL root password as an environment variable. Tell me, is it a single value or not, sir? Hit enter. Now you can go deployment called Swiggy database done with the environment variable update. Now go and give the command kubectl get pod. Is the pod running now? How the pod is running? Because I said the environment variable. If I use the command kubectl logs and name of the pod, you can see that. Oh, wait. It's come with new pod actually. Kubectl get PO. Kubectl logs and name of the pod. See, whenever you set the environment variable, automatically the pod name will be changed actually. Okay. Is it running now? Is it running or not, sir? Even though you can log into the database pod and you can able to create database also. Let me go and show you. Kubectl exec it name of the pod --/ slash bin slash bash. So if I go and see MySQL -v. So here MySQL is not installed. I'm using apt update first of all and apt install MySQL -y. Sir, I'm just installing MySQL here. Now directly whatever the password I said previously, directly I can give the same password. See. So give the command MySQL -u. U stand for username. What is the username? Root is the by default username. -p. P stand for password. Now here, MySQL not found. Wait, let me. I think this is not installed properly. Let me install it now. Oh, I need to give MySQL -server. Wait, sorry. MySQL -server. For Ubuntu, we need to give MySQL -server. If it is normal one, we need to give MySQL only. And here this point is not mentioned. Why? Because it is not recommended to show it lively. But I want to show you lively actually. Okay. So now go and check MySQL -u username -p password. Now the password I'm giving is here. Whatever the password you set here, same password I'm going and giving now. Am I able to get to MySQL database or not, sir? Where I have given MySQL password, environment variable, is it taking or not? That's it. So this is the way how exactly you are going to use the concept of config maps. Okay. So from the config map, what I have done is first of all, I create a pod. But for this pod, do I give an environment variable of password? No, after checking the logs, I came to know that, okay, this pod is not having the environment variable. So I use the kubectl set env command. Why I'm using env here? It's a single value. Which one? I am using env. So deployment name is so-and-so deployment. It is the username, like password, what I have set here. So after that, now pod will be coming to running status. Now, if you want to log into that pod, you can check with the MySQL installation and you can give the same password, whatever you passed from the environment variable. That's it. Now again, the same thing you can do from the file also. Same thing you can do from the file. Let me show how to do it from the file actually. So I'm deleting the existing pod, kubectl delete, deploy, Swiggy DB. So I'm deleting this completely. Now again, I'm going to create the same deployment actually. You can go and check out here. The same command again. This time also I'm going and creating the database. But again, this time database have I given with the username and password? No. So ultimately, I'll get the kubectl get PO. What I'm getting here, error. How to find out the error? Kubectl logs and you can give name of the pod. Correct or not, sir? Still you are having no username and no password. This time I want to set the password, but not from env. I want to pass it from file. So if I want to pass it from file, what I need to use for? From. First of all, go and create a file. VM creds. Name of the file will be here. Creds. Or you can put whatever the file name you want. No need to give creds only. You can put vars, you can put abc, you can put raham. That's completely fine. I'm gonna use VM vars. Vars stand for variables. Have I given username and password here? Now, first of all, what I'm gonna do is this complete file called vars. This file I want to convert into config map. What I want to convert into? Why? Because in this diagram, if you see, if it is single value, I can use env and I can pass it. But now I am using multiple values. So multiple values means I need to create a file. This file I'm going to convert into either config map or what I am choosing now? Config map. So let me go and create the config map. So how to create the config map means kubectl create config map. I'm creating the config map. What I'm creating? But how you are creating the config map? From the env file. Where you are creating it from? Env file. So let me go and see. And you can give the name of the config map. Config map name is dbvars. Which one? And before that, if I go and give kubectl get cm, are you getting one config map? It is the default config map that Kubernetes will use for internal communication. We are not going to disturb it. Let's create our own config map. Kubectl create config map db vars hyphen hyphen. I am taking the config map from the file. I am taking the config map from the file. Which file here? Environment file. So I need to use this one. Okay. So here I am using hyphen hyphen from env file. And what is the name of the file here we are having? Vars. Oh, wait. Is equal to vars. Now if I can go kubectl get cm or getting the second config map now. In this, how many variables I'm having? Two variables. Why? Because here data is 2. Now give the command kubectl describe cm dbvars. Are you getting the database now? Database password you are getting raham123 MySQL user you are getting as admin. Is it providing any privacy or security or encryption? Config map will show the plain data. Fine. Sir, now you have the config map. Okay, you have the pod and you have the config map. How you can pass the config map to the pod? That is the question here. Still, if you can go and see, my pod is on which status, guys? Error. So I want to pass the environment variable. In the method number 1, I shown you how to pass single environment variable, but now I'm passing multiple environment variables. Multiple environment variables I'm putting on a file, and that file I'm converting into. Already, do I have config map running here? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to attach the config map to the pod actually. So for that purpose, you need to use the same command, kubectl set env. What I'm using? Env. So kubectl, from the kubectl, I am setting the environment variable. What I am setting? I'm setting the environment variable for the deployment call swiggy db. Which db? But this time I am using hyphen hyphen from. Okay. I am passing from the config map called db vars. Okay. I'm passing from the db vars. But db vars is a config map or not, sir? Just type here config map. That's it. Automatically, if I go and give the command kubectl get po, is the pod running now? Old pod got terminated and new pod got running. So you can go and check kubectl logs name of the new pod. In the new pod, is everything working fine or not, sir? No? It's working. Why? Because you don't have any error like previously. So like that, even you can go from config map or either you can go from the, like environment variable also. Like that. So it depends upon your choice. What you are going to use. In real time, we use secrets generally. Why? Because config map will expose the plain data. Na? So we are going to use secrets actually. Here, if you can go and see, to store sensitive information or sensitive data in unencrypted format like username, keys, and password, we are going to use secret. Sir, in config map, we don't have any encryption. So that is the reason why we are choosing secrets here. But in secrets, is it telling it encryption or unencryption? Unencryption. Then if it is unencrypted, are we going to have privacy again? No. So, but here the thing is, secrets will not unencrypt the data. Secrets will be used to encoding. Secrets will be used for encoding actually. So here we are going to use base 64 encoding. So for example, if I give password is equal to Raham, so this secret can be able to encode the data. After encoding the data, you are going to see the data in a different format. It won't do encryption, but it can do encoding. In config map, you can explain the, like you can expose the plain data, but in secrets, it is encoded. Let me show with the example. Sir, in real time, why we need to use secret means apart from config map, in real time, we prefer secrets. I'll tell you why we prefer secrets. See, if I have sensitive data, first of all, I'll go and use secrets. And apart from that, by default, Kubernetes will create some secrets. And these are useful to create with the communication inside of the cluster. For example, kubectl get secrets. Put hyphen a. Hyphen a indicate all namespace. Are you seeing the secret here? What is the secret here? Bootstrap token. If you remember in the concept of Docker Swarm, how the manager node is going to communicate with worker nodes? Token. Here also Kubernetes will create a token by default, but that is the process that is going to be done automatically. And the token is on which format here? Secret format. Which format? If I use the command kubectl describe secret, and the name of the secret will be so and so secret in the namespace called kube system. Are you getting the secret now? I mean, basically by default, you cannot see secret like this, but are you getting the data here? How much of data it is consuming? No, sir. For example, if I want to see the secret, how I can see the secret means, so I'm going to show you how to expose the secret actually. This is the secret way of exposing. Wait. Kubectl get secret and name of the secret -ml. If you give this one, automatically you can be able to get the secrets. So kubectl get secret -a, that means from all namespace. And here I need to get the -o YAML format. So if you go in, are you seeing the data here? This data, are you able to see it now? Is this data on plain format or like encoding format? Are you able to understand that one? That is not the plain data, that is the encoded data actually. Okay. So in the practical part, I'm going to show you how to encode it. So you'll be getting the clarity. So this is the use case. So use case number one is if something is very, very important and if it is very, very sensitive, you are going to use the secret. In real time, we can use secret defaultly in order to make the token to communicate with the worker nodes. So use it to communicate with one resource to another resource in the cluster. For example, I have front-end pod. This front-end pod need to communicate with back-end code. Okay, for some data. So for that purpose also we can write the secret. And finally, these are system created secrets and we should not delete. By default, if you go and see, are you seeing a secret automatically generate from system or not, sir? So we should not delete them actually. And coming to the types of secrets here, generic secrets we have, TLS we have, Docker registry we have. What do we have? Generic, TLS, Docker registry. Generic means it will create the secret from files, folders, literals. Files means you know, folders mean no. Literal means direct value actually. What is the meaning of literal? Second one, we can use TLS keys. TLS stands for transfer layer security. For example, if I have two servers, how one server is securely communicating with other server means with the help of TLS only. Which one? TLS sets are used to establish safer and secure communication from one server to. So previously we are going to call it as SSL, but now the like the new name is going to be TLS. TLS stands for transfer layer security, like that. For that purpose also we can go and generate the certs. If you want me to show a live example of TLS communication. Let me go for images. If you go and see, like let me take one of the best ones. See, it is the best example I can say. Are you seeing the client here? Client means who is using the application or server. Let me open this properly. Why? Because this knowledge you need to have in real time. This I am telling especially for the experienced people. Okay. Here TLS stands for transfer layer security. Aimed to give a secure and transport layer, TLS was concluded from the security protocol SSL. Previously it is from SSL, but now in recently we are using from TLS. Ensure there are no third party affair may overhead or tamper with the any communication. For example, if you go to here, it is the client. Client means who is using the application. It is a server. When client sending the request, it need to communicate with my server safely and securely. Or otherwise, what will happen? Attacker will be coming to the middle of the communication and he can take the data. For example, see, me and Tapas is having a call. Me and Tapas is having a call. Okay, so now what happened? So it is me and it is the Tapas actually. So Tapas is telling that, sir, tomorrow I'm not coming to the class. Why? Because due to I have some other reason. Correct or not? So while he is speaking with me, his words need to communicate with me only. Unfortunately, in between us, the call connected to some other person, they can hear our conversation or not, sir? Is it a safer way? No? No. Now, in this scenario, the TLS will help me that no other person is communicating in between us. Whatever the data he is sending to me, that need to be safer and secure without any encryption. Without any interruption actually. The best part is it provides the privacy and encryption for data transmission. Is the concept clear for all of you know what is TLS? Previously it is called as SSL, but now we are going to call it as TLS. Here it is clearly given them. It is telling that where it is, yeah. TLS was concluded from the security protocol SSL. Okay, TLS ensured that no third party affair may overhead or tamper the communication between client and server. Is the point clear for all of you? Online, is the concept of TLS clear for all of you? Can you please confirm in chat box once? Okay, fine. Currently, whenever if I create multi-node cluster, see, I create multi-node cluster. This worker node 1, worker node 2 will communicate. And again, master node and worker node 2 will communicate. Master node 1 and worker node 2 will communicate. How it will communicate? With the help of TLS only. How it will communicate? TLS. The best thing I can show you is, if you remember in the concept of Docker Swarm, I give the command Docker top command. Which command? Docker top. I mean, like Docker node inspect command I have given. In the Docker node inspect command, you can go and check the TLS is there. If you go to the recording also, in the recording also I share you the same concept actually. There is a TLS certificate. You can go to that recording and you can listen actually. Without TLS, we cannot properly communicate with the servers. That's fine now. So to generate the TLS keys and certificates also, we are going to use secrets. Third one is Docker registry. So till now you are pulling the image from public registry. But if I want to pull the image from private registry, I need to give credentials or not, sir? So that credentials also I'm going to store it on the secrets. Let me show you this one also. For example, if I go for Docker Hub, if I go to Docker Hub, this is my Docker Hub actually. So I'll go to the existing account. So in the securities option, repository settings, if you go and see. So by default, this is on public. But if it is private, what you are going to do? Go to here in the my profile. So this is security. Are you seeing this one? Two-factor authentication, personal tokens. Are you able to see it now? So you can be able to generate a token. So you can go for public repo read only, read and write, and everything. So like this, you can able to generate some secrets actually. Okay. So this token you can generate. You can use personal access token instead of password or CL authentication, create multiple tokens for it. So by this way also you can pull the images actually. So if you go and see this one, here you can change the password, email, everything you can change. Okay. So this is the Docker home and this is admin console. If I go to admin console, unlike one more thing, this is not for you actually. Wait. Let me open Docker private image fully. So if I go to official documentation, or like even if I go for Kubernetes documentation, here you can go and see. First of all, you are going to give the concept of this one, okay? So you need to use a Docker login. First of all, from the login, you are going to give the username and password. This already you know, right? So after giving that one, if you want to create anything, are you going to see the usage of secrets or not, sir? Why I'm using secret? Why? Because I'm using the private image. Whenever if I'm using private image, I need to give my username and password. Is that username and a password sensitive information or not, sir? For sensitive information, what I'm creating here? Secrets. So that is the point here. And you can pass the secrets like this also. It's completely fine. Again, this all I'm showing you for your even better clarity in the real time. Basically, I can tell, okay, this is for secret, this is for TLS, I can show. But the reason why I'm explaining everything is you need to be very clear for the interview while explaining all of these concepts. Again, secret main purpose is to pass the sensitive information. Which information? Sensitive information. Let me write it here. Secret will pass sensitive information. Wait. Secret will pass what kind of information? Sensitive. Is the data going to be encryption or encoding? Encoding. Okay. What is the use case? Use cases in where we are going to use. So to generate the TLS certificates, in order to go for Docker private registry, Docker private registry, and in order to pass the values, that means from files, from folders, from literals. Okay. So this you can use for the secrets actually. But the thing is, secrets will not encrypt the data, but it is going to encode. So this is the information of the secrets actually. Now if I go and see, again I'm going to create the same deployment here for your clarity. So let me delete the existing kubectl, delete, deploy, Swiggy DB. I'm creating the new deployment. Again, I haven't given any kind of username and password. So ultimately pod is going to be on error state. So, but this time I'm going to create a secret actually. See, here I'm creating the secret from CLI. How I'm creating from? I already said that if you want to create a secret you can create from file, you can create from folder, and you can create the literal. Literal means direct. If you are creating the CLI, if you are creating the value from CLI, that is called as literal. Here, if you can go and see, I'm using this command to create the secret actually. So if I copy this one, from the kubectl, I am creating the secret. Which kind of secret I'm creating? Generic means you can create secrets from, tell me, you can create secret from files, folders, literals. What is the meaning of literal? Direct value. Okay. So I'm creating the secret called generic, and the name of the secret will be, here I'm using hyphen literal. The reason why I'm using hyphen literal means I am creating the secret direct value. Root password is equal to Raham123. Is it the direct value or not, sir? Yes. No, sir. If I want to create the secret from the file, in that case, what you are going to put means, instead of hyphen literal, what you are going to put here? What you are going to put, sir? Hyphen env file. This is also you can use. It depends upon your choice whether to create the secret from CLI or from file. It's completely our choice. Of course, here I have given the secret from the CLI. That is the reason I have given here literal. Now, if I pass values from a file, I need to use env from. So, is the difference between literal and env from clear for all of you? Know? Online, can you please confirm is the difference between both of them clear for all of you or not? Can you please confirm in chat box? Okay, fine. So now here just to go and update the password. Okay. So now go and give kubectl get secrets. Are you getting the secret now? So give the command kubectl describe secret. Are you getting the secret now? You are getting secret, but where is the value? Value will not visible. If you want to get the value, give the command kubectl get secret -o Oh, hyphen O YAML. What I need to give? Hyphen O. If you go and see, are you able to get the secret now? This is the value. Password Raham123. Are you seeing the value now? How is the value? Is the value on plain text or encoding format? Encoding format. Right? I am going to show you decode, but let's first of all pass this value to the pod. Currently, the pod is on which status here? Crash loop back off. Okay. So give the command kubectl set environment variable for the deployment call Swiggy deployment. But I am setting the environment variable from the direct value. So whenever if I are using direct value hyphen from literal, what I need to use from literal. What is the name of the literal here? Name of the literal will be password. But this password I create from secret or not, sir? Okay. Hit enter. Literals, I think LATRALS. Okay, wait. Here from literal is not required. Wait. Let me remove this one. When I from secret called password. Is it got updated now? So now go and give the command kubectl get PO. Unfortunately, again it is gonna fail. Sir, already updated the password, but why it got failed means it is very easy. Sir, you have given the password. You have given the password. But the thing you need to understand is here before password, you need to give prefix called MySQL. What I need to give? Why? Because while setting the password, you have given the root password. But you need to give MySQL underscore root underscore password. But unfortunately, you missed MySQL or not, sir? So you need to use hyphen prefix in the last. Or if you don't use hyphen prefix called MySQL, this won't take actually. Now go and check the pod. Is the pod running now? I'll explain now. Whenever if you are using password for the database, you need to use MySQL underscore root underscore password. But here what you are using only root underscore. That means before root underscore password is MySQL missing or not, sir? That is the reason I'm using here prefix. If you remember in the starting of the class, I said you this one, starting of the class itself. You can also specify a common prefix string. That means whenever if you miss a value, so in that case, you can pass it from the prefix actually. If you pass the prefix, then only we'll be getting the output, or otherwise you won't get the output itself. So without passing the prefix, we cannot make the pod into running status. That's it. So now if you want to get the secrets actually, this is the concept. So if I go and run this command, you can be able to get the secret. Are you able to see the secret now? Currently it is on which format here? Encode. If I want to decode, so give the command echo -n this value and give the pipe base 64. Base 64 decode I want to do. So put -d. Are you seeing the password Raham123 here? If you go and see, are you seeing the password Raham123 here? So this is the command echo -n and the value you need to give and give pipe symbol base 64 -d. -d stand for decode, or you can use -- decode also. Again, you'll be getting the same value. So by default, it can do encoding. But if you want to decode to see the value, it is the way how exactly we are going to decode. So on a high level overview, this is the concept of config map and secrets. At the end of the day, if you see these single nodes, our class will be given to the single nodes only. If you go and see, again, I'm explaining one more time. Today's session, I'm showing you how to pass the environment variables. How many ways do you have? Two. First one is env, second one is env from. To pass single value, which one I need to use? Env from. Now, if I want to pass multiple value from file, I need to use either config map or secret. Config map will pass key values CLI and files. But data should be non-confidential. It is privacy and encrypted. Limit will be 1 MB. If it is greater than 1 MB, we are going to use volumes. Coming to the secret, here we are going to pass sensitive information in real time, like our username, password, tokens, SH keys, certificates, everything. So it can provide encoding, but not encryption. So we can pass TLS sets, we can give Docker private registry credentials, and we can give the values like generic values, key value pair, files, literals, and everything like that. So in real time, sir, which one we are going to use? Config map or secret? Basically, we use both actually. For sensitive information, we can use secrets. But for non-sensitive information, we can use config map. That's it. So now before I go for doubts and queries, is the concept of environment variables in the Kubernetes clear for all of you know? Online, can you please confirm me, is the environment variables clear for all of you or not? Can you please confirm in the chat box? Okay, fine. So it was clear for all of you. Now, if you are having any doubts or any queries over today's session, you can go and you can ask me now. From Monday onwards, I'm going to start the monitoring part in Kubernetes. Okay. So, but for this session, if you are having any queries, please go ahead and ask me now. Okay. First query is from Akhil. Akhil, you can go ahead and ask your query. Akhil, are you there? Okay, fine.
Hello.
Go ahead, Akhil.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
I can able to hear you. Please go ahead.
I just missed out like regarding you said environment versus literals.
Literal means direct value from CLI. If you want to pass a value from CLI, that is called as literal. Okay.
Literal.
Yep.
Okay. Environment in the sense like what we pass from the files.
Sorry.
No, environment in the sense like what we pass from the files.
No, it's not like that. Environment variable you can pass from CLI also. You can pass it from CLI, you can pass it from file, you can pass it from folder anyway. Okay.
So then literal specific from the CLI, only from CLI.
Yeah, if you pass a value from CLI, that is what we are going to call as literal actually. Okay. Instead of literal, I can pass it from CLI, but literal is a perfect word to use actually. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Shrivani, you can go ahead now.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Shrivani.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Srivani.
Actually, you have installed MySQL, right? So
Yes.
in container.
Mm.
So after restart, that MySQL it won't be there, right?
After restart means?
Suppose if we restart the container or
Mm.
pod,
Mm.
the whatever we have installed, it won't be there,
It
right?
will be there. It will be there. No, it will be there.
Where it will be stored? That image we have used for the container creation, it won't be having the MSSQL.
Database. Yeah,
We have,
basically that won't have database actually. But of course, if you want, you can take database image also. That's completely fine.
no. I'm just asking some. If you install after the deployment anything, it will after restart it won't be there, right? It will be there.
It will be. It will be. Why? Because we're using stateful, right? In last class, if you remember, stateful application, even though if you delete the pod, automatically after recreating, you have the same thing, right?
Yeah. If you use stateful only, it will be having.
Yes. Yes. Let me show you. For example, if you go and see, let me show it lively for you. Kubectl get pure. Currently, the pod is there. So kubectl exec -it, name of the pod -- slash bin bash. Okay. So if I give MySQL, currently, are you seeing MySQL here? No. apt update -y and apt install MySQL -server. As of now, I'm installing MySQL here, but I'll delete the pod and after decreating, see what will happen to.
Okay.
Here I'm not taking MySQL image now directly. So if you take direct MySQL image, then automatically the MySQL will come from the image. Okay, but here it is not coming from the image now. So I'm installing it externally. So I'm going out. So give the command kubectl delete pod. Okay, and you can give the name of the pod. So automatically the pod will delete. Again, new pod will create or not, sir? Will the new pod having the same MySQL installed or not? That is the question.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll show you. Let me go the kubectl get PO. You have the new pod here. Kubectl exec -it. Name of the pod, sorry, -- bin bash. So use MySQL -v. I installed MySQL previously, but is it working? No. Why? Because that is different pod. This is different pod. If the application is stateful, it can has the previous data. But are we using stateful? No. No, it is stateless. And you can ask me, sir, after deleting the pod, when the new pod create, automatically I need to get the MySQL. In that case, you are going to install MySQL on the image. If you install MySQL on the image, if you use the same image, after the pod will be deleted, even though if new pod will come, in that new pod you have the MySQL. Why? Because MySQL you're installing on image now. So
Yeah,
it depends
even
upon the image.
even
Shivani.
without deleting the pod, even if you restart also, it is not
It,
uh, it is
no,
not
if you
there
restart, no, if you restart, that will be there actually.
because IP will be changed. It will be changed, right?
Pod
So
IP will change, but internal things won't change, right?
uh, can you check it, sir?
Okay. So let me go and do this one. This time I'll create a file actually. Touch file one. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you seeing file one here?
Yes.
Kubectl restart pod, name of the pod. Oh, wait. Give me a second. There is a command actually. Wait.
Roll out.
This is the command I need to give. What is the name of the deployment we are using? What is the deployment name? SwiggyDB, right?
Yes, indeed.
So it is restarted, right? So give the command kubectl get PO. The moment if I restart, the pod got again restarted, right? So what
Yes.
I'll be doing, kubectl exec -it, name of the pod, --. Now this time I can go and give the command ls. Instead of going to the inside, simply I can go and give ls. So can you find out the file one here?
No, it is not.
Or you can go to bin bash. Bin bash. Are you able to see file one here? No, but previously whenever if I go and see, are you able to see file one got created under etc? But now under etc, where is the file one here? No, the reason why it is showing like this, because it is stateless. Which one? But if it
Stateless.
is stateful, do you have the same data? Yes. Hope it is clear for you, Shivani, no?
Yeah. How to? I forgotten this. How to make it stateful, sir?
Use volumes, PV and PVC.
Okay, PV and PVC. We need
In
to.
real time, completely we use stateful application only. If you use stateless, there is nothing will be there in the application itself. Okay.
Sorry. PV and PVC will use.
Yeah.
Suppose we have installed it, MS SQL. Where to save that PV? How to?
No. See, I'm telling you this clearly. Basically, you are missing the basic point. What I am trying to tell for you is, in real time, while you are creating the Docker image, you use MySQL in the Docker image. Where you are going to use? In the Docker image, correct or not, sir?
Yeah.
So now the same image you are going to give for the container. Same image you are going to give for the, like pod actually. So whenever you create replicas, all the pods will have the MySQL now, correct or not? Why? Because for all the pods you are using the same image. Now if I delete a pod, this pod will be recreated with the same image. In the image you are having already MySQL. Na?
Yeah, I
So
got
you need
it.
to install it on image. Yeah.
MS SQL is just example I'm telling.
Yeah.
Suppose I have application, application related configuration. I will do that.
Okay.
After creating the container or pod.
Okay.
So sometimes the container will restart.
Okay.
All those configuration is vanished. Again, I need to configure again all those.
If you use volumes, why you do vanish the data? If you use
That
volumes, data will not be vanished, right?
volumes, okay, I will use the volume.
Hmm.
That volume which path I need to use to save
Which
that.
path? See, path you can specify up to your choice. In the last class, I used TMP path. If you want to use a root path, you can use /root. That's completely fine. It's up to user define, right? If you go to the last class, it is your last class actually. In the last class, if you can go and see it, the volume, I am storing it on TMP. But if you want to store on other place, you can use other other path of your volume itself, like container itself. Is it
Yeah,
clear now?
this one I got it. Volume path you have given. Whatever the configuration I have do for this application, will it save here?
Definitely, it is stateful, right? That is the purpose of stateful. If you pass the data once, if you pass the configuration once, again it is going to recreate, okay?
Yeah. Still I have this concept I got it.
See, first of all,
How that how
like,
this volume
wait,
come to know
Shivani,
that
let me finish,
the
okay?
application related configuration will be stored in some other location, right? Those configuration has to be reflected in this persistent volume. I need to map that configuration related file to this persistent volume.
I am telling you something, but you are interrupting me actually in the middle.
Sorry. Sorry,
Okay,
sir.
you need to listen to me first of all, then only we need to ask, okay? Okay, let me give you the complete information. For example, it is your pod, right? Inside this pod, now what is your query number one? Tell me your query one by one. I'll give the perfect examples for you lively.
Okay, I have one application.
You have one application, okay.
That is a one user console.
User console, okay, UI.
Application URL is there. In that
Okay.
application URL, I will log into that.
URL, okay.
I will do some configuration in that URL.
Which kind of configuration you are going to use?
Any related to application.
Okay, you
Suppose
are going to use some configuration. So in Q1 it is, if you want to use configuration, which concept you are going to use? Config map and secrets. Is the point number one clear for all of you? Shivan, is it clear for you? Either you can use
yes.
config map or secret. Okay.
Those
Then next tell me, what is your doubt?
Okay, those configuration is like not like a single and not like that. Suppose one application he's having, in that I will create some users. Suppose I will add some database to that that you access
Okay.
something. Those
Okay.
kind of, it's not one or two config. So it will be having multiple. So that
So
will
you
be
are having, let's say, 100 users. Okay. So multiple configuration means that only, right?
yeah. I'm just
Okay, fine. So you are having 100 users. So now tell me.
So I have do some changes there. Some databases I will map there for the user.
Okay.
So whatever I have do those changes in that console, application console, those have to be there still, even container restarts.
That is what I am telling from the starting of the class, Shivan. You are missing the point. It is your UI actually. It is your UI. Okay. So in real time, if you remember, like, do you know 3-tier architecture?
Yes.
It is the front end pod. It is the back end pod. It is the database pod. So if a user log into the console, from the console, data will be coming to the back end pod. That is application pod. From the application pod, the data is going to be stored on where? Database pod. So in database pod, the data is going to be stored. Once if I store the data, what is going to happen? No, I am going to make a stateful. Stateful means for this database, I am going to add the concept called PV and PVC. PVN. If I use PV and PVC concept, even though if the pod delete or pod restore, same data will come or not, sir? In the last class, I shown it lively for you. If you remember, Srivani, in the last class, I delete a pod, automatically second pod will come. In the same place, data is available or not?
Yeah, it's available. Yeah.
Is it clear for you now?
Yeah.
Or still are having any queries?
Yeah. For my application related, it is not working.
Is it not working? Okay, then in that case, do one thing. Just to go to the official documentation and read the restart policy. Okay. If you go and see, I'm going to tell you something. Pod restart policy.
Yeah.
If you go inside, it's in the pod life cycle.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the pod life cycle. First of all, read this one for your clarity. And you can go for the container state. So waiting, running, terminate, and everything you can see. Okay. And apart from this, I'll ask you to go and check container restart policy. So here if you can go and see, or in the restart policy, Docker update, restart always. Okay, whenever if you want to restart, so you can use this one. Docker restart, know my container means command manually provide the controlling allow user to decide when to start the container after it stops. So this restarting policies is gonna helpful for you, Shrivani, actually, for your
Okay.
use case.
Yeah, I will try.
But don't worry, once if you start using PV and PVC, automatically your data will never going to be lost. Even though if you
Yeah.
restart the pod, even though if you delete, the data will be there actually. Okay.
Actually, what I have used that I have used temp/persistent
Yeah.
volume path, right?
Yes.
So I have used that my application related config folder path.
Okay.
It's like OPT
Some
thing
other folder.
else.
Yeah, it can be
So
anything. Yeah.
I have used that one.
Okay.
So where my application configuration files will be saved. So I
Okay.
have given that path.
Okay.
So I made it as a persistent volume and I attached that PVC.
Okay.
So while trying to deploy that pod, I am getting access denied. It is unable to permission denied. CP cannot copy it like that.
See, if
So
you are getting permission
it's going to.
means.
I mean, when I go to logs, it is showing same like crash loop backup error I am getting.
Okay.
When I go to the container logs, I can see CP command copy command. It cannot permission denied. Is unable to copy the folder which path I have given. Those files unable to copy due to permission denied.
Acha, okay. Let me tell you this one clearly. If you are getting permission denied, first of all, you need to check the access to do copy or not. Okay. So it is not from the our side issue. First of all, go and ask your company people whether do you have the proper permissions or not. If you have the proper permission, then you won't get the permission denied actually.
Okay. I will.
Is the logic point clear for you, whatever I said now?
Yes.
Why? Because for the containers, when if you are logged into a container or a server, if your user doesn't have permission, how can you do the activities? You cannot do, right?
Yeah, I got it.
That is the first thing you need to check actually. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, fine. Okay. So some of the queries from online. Sir Sumit Jadhav, take my name for interview. Definitely, I'll take your name, Sumit Jadhav. And sir, I'm joining session interview topic. Okay. See, however you are comfortable till now, you can go for those concepts only. And Ram sir, in AWS, can we use secret key with limited service in ENV? Can we use secret key? Are you asking about KMS keys, Ram? Or like any other concept it is? Sumit Jadhav. AWS secret manager is something different. Of course, if you want to integrate with Kubernetes also, you can integrate. That's completely fine. Okay. So that's it, guys. So it is going to be the class for today. And in tomorrow, you are going to have the mock interviews. Okay. So please try to attend for the mock interviews. So you have a lot of time. So till tomorrow for you are having time. So you can prepare and you can come. That's it. What is unit testing in Maven? If you test each and every part of the application separately, that is what you can call as unit testing. Hope it is clear for you, Nikhil. And finally, luckily you want to speak. Go ahead.
So we'll not have a class tomorrow, like regular session?
No, we don't have. Only like mocks. Why? Because see, I am telling you the classes, but if I don't know how much you are comfortable and how much you are perfect till now, it's gonna be completely waste, right? So
Yes.
definitely at the starting of demos, I said mocks will be given. So as per my word, it is the mock number 2 for all of you. In upcoming days, you are going to have mock number 3 and 4 also. Okay.
All right.
Hope it is
Okay,
clear.
thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. So Nikhil, mock interviews for online after 2 and for offline from 11 a.m. Okay. That depends upon your configuration. If you are configuring the application, don't you know how to give the values? That's what I'm telling. Your doubt is how will I know one value or two values? Your developers will tell it while configuring. Okay. Okay then. So let's move on to tomorrow's session with some new topic. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you.